about them Cowboys?
Angry Cowboys fan, are you down to ride? Angry Cowboys fan, are you down to ride? Drop a like on the video, go ahead and subscribe.
What's going on, Cowboys Nation and angry Cowboys fans around the world? Y'all know who it is. It's your man, the angry Cowboys fan. And Cowboys Nation, I get a number of fans from different fan bases, as well as our own fan base, saying that the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys has to put the entire team on his back and win a Super Bowl. Well, our fans say this when it comes to Dak Prescott, but when you ask them if that applies to Tony Romo, you hear crickets, Cowboys Nation. But I saw a clip from Colin Cowherd's show. I saw it from The Herd, where he broke down the top 10 quarterbacks list that ESPN put up. As everyone knew, the Philadelphia Eagles fans were up in arms when their quarterback, Jalen Hurts, was named number 9 on said list. The way Colin Cowherd broke it down to where it was simple to see, your quarterback doesn't have to do everything to bring their team a championship. So we're going to take a listen to the super clip of what Colin Cowherd said about Jalen Hurts, but y'all know what we're going to do after that? We're going to come back and unpack this raw and uncut. So, Cowboys Nation, let's take a listen to what Colin Cowherd had to say about the Super Bowl winning MVP, Jalen Hurts.
NFL executives, coaches, and scouts released their top 10 quarterback, and it went in this order: Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Lamar, Jaden Daniels, Matt Stafford, Justin Herbert, Goff, Jalen Hurts, Baker Mayfield. That's about as close to my list as you can get. The reaction on Jalen Hurts, who, wins the Super Bowl being 9, was predictable. This is a bunch of nonsense. I can't believe it. Take a deep breath. The Eagles' offense was top 10 in everything: pass blocking, run blocking, rushing, receiving. Yet they were 21st in actually passing. Oh, by the way, 11 of his 32 total touchdowns came on rushes of 1 or fewer yards. Take out the tush push, he had the same number of touchdowns as Bryce Young. They passed the ball less than any team in the NFL at 24 times a game. Jalen Hurts is responsible for that.
Damn. Holy moly, boy, Colin Cowherd went in. But let us go in as well, Cowboys Nation. Y'all ready for this raw and uncut? Y'all ready? Let's get it. Cowboys Nation, I know that clip had absolutely nothing to do with the Dallas Cowboys, but what it did have something to do with is what it takes to win a Super Bowl championship without luck being involved, without having calls have to go your way, without the refs being in your pocket. The Philadelphia Eagles organization showed the league what it took to become champions. It doesn't take your quarterback being the end-all be-all when it comes to winning a Super Bowl championship. Colin Cowherd said it. Jalen Hurts had the same amount of touchdown throws as Carolina Panthers quarterback Bryce Young. 11 touchdowns off the tush push. How much quarterbacking do you have to do in order to do the tush push? Not too much. I don't want to degrade the quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles, but what I want to do is stress how much a Super Bowl winning quarterback had to do in order to win a championship, in order to get that job done. He doesn't have to be elite every single appearance, but the Dallas Cowboys quarterback does. The Super Bowl winning team comes into the playoffs with a plan A and a couple of backups. The Dallas Cowboys come into the playoffs with one plan, #SpamCD. The 21st passing offense in the league, and they won the Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts, with 2,900 yards passing, won the Super Bowl. Why did they win the Super Bowl? Because their GM wasn't afraid to go in there and do his damn job. The ownership wasn't afraid to allow their GM to do his damn job. They prioritized getting Hurts a plan B in Saquon Barkley, and they beefed up the areas where they were lacking last year. They didn't care about down the road when it came to the salary cap. They weren't afraid to stick to the run, even though A.J. Brown was visibly upset with the lack of passing attack. They all came together and they all got it done. Then you'll have fans in the comment section saying that Dak doesn't do enough to win a championship, but won't speak about the fact that the run game can't break 100 yards in the playoffs. The defense can't get sacks in the playoffs. The defensive backs can't get interceptions in the playoffs. The offensive line can't get push in the playoffs. The offense continues to go 3 and out in the playoffs with the defense not being able to get 3 and outs. Let's just blame it on the person that touches the ball every play, right? I'm sorry, but that's one of the simplest ways to look at NFL football, or football nonetheless. Oh, let me guess. The defense got a stop against the Green Bay Packers. Well, the offense scored 32 points too. Let me guess, that was garbage time, right? Well, if the defense could have gotten a stop, a 3 and out at the start of the game, maybe we would be having a different conversation. The entire team is at fault for the losses, and they should be commended in the wins. Why don't people see that, Cowboys Nation? I think I know why people don't see that. The 3 and 4 letter networks has peddled this for years, and now people think that in a loss, it's only the quarterback's problem, but in a win, everybody gets to celebrate. That's crazy to me. But coulda, woulda, shoulda, Cowboys Nation. Here we are going into the 2025 NFL season, and we still have those fans who have a remember the Titans Hollywood type of view on the quarterback situation, like the replacements in Keanu Reeves, that the quarterback is the knight in shining armor who saves the team when all else fails. That's not how the quarterback position works, Cowboys Nation. The quarterback position is predicated on the scheme that he's given. Talent gets you so far in sports, Cowboys Nation. At some point, your team has to be coached up to a championship level. Ask yourself this question. Did Coach Mike McCarthy coach up this team to a Super Bowl level, or were there issues in his scheme and his play calling? Did Jason Garrett coach this team up to a Super Bowl level, or did he have issues in his play calling and discipline? Some Cowboys fans will blame the quarterback after spending the entire offseason complaining about the coaching situation. It was even this offseason where people complained about the coaching situation and the hire of Brian Schottenheimer and how it was done. But now we expect the Super Bowl championship this year, no matter whether he's in his first year or not. And for you Cowboys fans who praise Tony Romo while bashing Dak Prescott, both said quarterbacks had and have been placed in a lose-lose situation, doing more with less, running backs by committee, wide receivers by committee. That's not going to get anybody but Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady to a championship. If that was the case, Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals would have made it to the playoffs last year and would have won that Super Bowl in 2022. Why did they lose? It must have been the quarterback's fault, right? But Cowboys Nation, this conversation pisses me off to no end because it feels as if some Cowboys fans will never be satisfied until a Super Bowl championship happens. Newsflash. Our team isn't going to win the Super Bowl every single year. I mean, I know it's been 30 years and people are thirsty for that Super Bowl victory, but goodness gracious, it's not going to happen every time you assemble a team. Shit, there'll be years where we won't make the playoffs, hence last year. But instead of trying to figure out what the real issue is, some fans just want to get rid of the only beacons of light that we have on this team. Trade Micah Parsons. Get rid of Dak Prescott. Shit, I even heard trade CD Lamb chants before he got paid. Leave it to some of these fans and we wouldn't even be in the playoffs to speak of. Thank goodness you guys are not our GMs because we would be the Cleveland Browns right now. But Cowboys Nation, in the game of football, you are supposed to assemble the best group of young men to be able to compete at a high level. A team is supposed to surround their quarterback with talent to make your quarterback's job easier and more comfortable. The coaching staff is supposed to assess the team's strengths and weaknesses and come up with a scheme that brings out everybody's potential. They're supposed to implement this so it becomes muscle memory to the players, and the players are supposed to execute it at a high level. When an opposing team gets too familiar with your scheme and your approach, the coaching staff can make adjustments in order to catch the opposing team by surprise. This game we call football is strategic, it's cerebral by nature, and it's a game of wits and outmaneuvering. It's a game of intelligence and not just physicality. It's a game that lives outside the box and lives more in the gray area as opposed to the black and white area. For the ones who get that, I truly appreciate you. I salute you. For the ones that don't, I truly don't know what to tell you. All I know is, to you, This team is going to suck while Dak Prescott's here and when he leaves, when he retires. Y'all may not remember the dark ages of the early 2000s, but I do. I'm a fan that doesn't want to see those ages again. But this has been your man, the Angry Cowboys fan. Cowboys Nation, do y'all get why I played the Colin Cowherd video? Do you remember what I was getting at through this video? Do you remember the dark ages of the Dallas Cowboys? Y'all know how we do it. We always talk about it in the comment section. But if you're digging this content and want to help join a bunch of wonderful Dallas Cowboys fans as we chip away to 20K, drop a like on this video and share it with anybody that you know is a Dallas Cowboys fan. If you are DC for like and knows what it takes for this team to come together and just click, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell to be notified whenever I go live, release a video, podcast episode, film breakdown, or Madden 25 or College Football 26 gameplay. Some people, they take winning for granted. So much so that it is expected without playing a snap of football. They negate the hard work and the dedication that these men put in, the time and the effort that these men put in, the blood, sweat, and tears and days away from their family that they put in. They just feel it's Super Bowl or leave when winning doesn't always incorporate bringing home the Lombardi trophy. I mean, I wish fans would stop listening to this narrative that it's Super Bowl or bust. The Super Bowl, it's the ultimate prize that every team tries to attain. Only one team brings it home. If your team was a part of that 31 teams that didn't bring the trophy home, that's when you take a look at the good and the bad, learn from the bad, and add to the good. Actually figuring out where your team went wrong and work on steps in correcting where you went wrong. Maybe then your team will see a Super Bowl appearance. But this has been your man, the Angry Cowboys fan. And I'm out. Dang, Angry Cowboys fan, you done made it through the entire video. But if you want more content, you can definitely go to this video right here. Or if you want the latest episode of the Angry Cowboys fan podcast, you can go right here. But whatever you do, like, share, and subscribe to the channel, but remain DC for life.